I genuinely think people underappreciate the beauty of Whitney Schnee's character. No, that wasn't a joke. I think Whitley was actually a very well written character. Arguably the best handled new character of Volume 4. Oh, and that's because he does exactly what he's meant to for the story to work. And, well, that's it. You see, Weiss's whole character arc in Volume 4 was learning to let go of her family's riches because her friends are more... No, that's not it. She wasn't even going after her friend, she was going after her sister. Because being a huntress is actually more important to her than running the Schnee Dust Company. Something she should have realized from the fact that she had chosen to become a huntress instead of, staying in the company and trying to run it. So and to really drive home the fact that Weiss doesn't really care for the company anymore. I mean, there isn't even any forced discrimination for her to fight against it. It's because if you look at the video and if you look at my Adam is 100% done video, you realize they totally cancelled it. Anyway, Whitley's character is necessary in that Weiss needed a younger sibling to whom she could lose the company. And do so. And then everything else about Whitley is basically just the candle on top. For one thing, he's our brother, which makes a lot of sense when you remember that Mr. Schnee had to change his last name in order to run the company. Well, maybe he didn't have to, but he felt it necessary to do so, which means he valued the Schnee last name more than the one he lived with for, I'm going to assume at 25 years. How old is this guy? How old is anyone in this show? Oh no, I'm praising one of their characters, right. Plus, he's completely uninterested in going to a combat school, unlike his sisters. So that means that there's an excellent chance that he will remain the heiress to the Schnee Dust Company. I know it's heir, but heiress. He will remain the heiress to the Schnee Dust Company until the end of forever. Like, Jacques has no reason to give it back to Weiss unless they really find a reason to do so. Look, is Weiss going to run a business or be a huntress? She can't do both. But quite frankly, she can barely do one. So, yeah, Whitley, by taking away Weiss's power and giving it to someone who is more likely to be able to keep that power than herself, and let's face it, probably more qualified, because, well, I find it hard to believe combat schools will teach you anything regarding business administration. And if you think they do, you clearly don't understand what fighting monsters is supposed to be like. Like, seriously, the idea that they could fail at grades. The only grade that should really matter in Beacon is, can they kill Grimm without dying? Everything else is purely decorative. Why was RWBY even set in a school? We never learn anything in the school. Oh yeah, no, back to praising the character. And that's why I feel like Whitley is arguably the most important character to exist in Weiss's arc. Sure, her father is important, but he's just a dick. As long as Weiss remained the last child, there was literally nothing he could do. I mean, what would he do? Pass the name off to some rando? And why did he change his last name to Schnee? They probably still could have done that, but there still needs to be a Whitley-like character. So yeah, Whitley is a character built on a solid foundation. He has a purpose in the narrative, and his character matches that foundation, and in that he can continue serving that purpose. And unless they find some serious way to backflip Weiss into a position in the Schnee Dust Company, which I'm confident would be the actual worst thing they can do in Volume 7, and it makes Weiss's arc in Volume 4 the only one that has meaning. I see why people like Weiss more than the rest of our teammates. I mean, one of them only really started to fulfill her role in the story halfway through Volume 6. One of them seems to make every storyline she's involved with decay and rot, and the other one is just useless. Why is one random douche that, let's be honest, will probably get punched in the face in Volume 7 even better written than one of your main characters? Well, I can't say better written. More important. Yes. Why is he more important than one of your main characters? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna quit now while I'm ahead.